What is brand, and then why is it important?
I mean, in my definition, I would say it's what people know you by. It's like if you don't have a social media presence in this day and age, then you are going to fall behind.
What do you think is like one of the biggest myths about social media and branding are?
People assume that you have to grow completely organically or else you cheated.
What's one of the biggest mistakes you see on brand building and social media?
You want to figure out ways to differentiate yourself. So the aesthetic, the front end is one thing I help my clients with, which is like the bio, the highlights, the content, all the links.
What trends are you most excited about on Instagram right now with the future of social media?
I think that with the rise of AI, it's going to weed out a lot of
What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Elliott Caldwell Podcast on Successful DNA. A treat today, my friend Joe McCarthy. Joe, welcome to the pod.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Flew in from Fort Lauderdale, podcast tour today.
Yeah.
With our boy, Mr. Vega earlier. Let's start with this, Joe. What is brand? Which is, you ask 10 people, they might have 10 different answers. So to the king of brand, what is brand? And then why is it important?
Brand, I mean, in my definition, I would say it's what people know you by. I think it's cliche to say, but I feel like everybody to an extent has a brand.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to have all the followers and the accolades and the content to necessarily have a brand. Like brand is like it's your authority, it's your reputation, it's what you're known by, it's what you stand for. So at the end of the day, it's that outward projection of who you are on the inside. And I think with social media, there's obviously ways to really elevate that and get it to the next level, but that's how I would summarize it.
And why is it important?
I mean, I shouldn't even have to tell you guys this in 2026. Why is a brand important? I think that's why you're starting your brand. That's why you're starting to scale it up because, traditional marketing is good to an extent. It can get out to a decent amount of people, but it's like if you don't have a social media presence in this day and age, then you are going to fall behind. And I think especially now going into these new changes with AI and all the crazy stuff coming out, having an actual personal brand where people know you and see your value and what you can provide is, again, it's just like a free marketing resource.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I was telling you earlier with my business partner, Michael, and that's why, we've hired a few full-time people for podcasts and social media and kind of gone all in on videography and kind of everything from seeing it all started off with his brand, and then now he has multiple offers, from the brand, and that just being able to scale that, not just with ads, but just organic content. It's been fun to watch. I mean, I remember when he had under 100,000 followers, and then to now there's like 700K on Instagram and 1 million on TikTok. And the way I like to put it is it just like opens up what you're able to do.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
The opportunities, I can't even tell you how many opportunities have opened up, people I've met, connections, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. And I think too, when he's built his brand, it's almost like a cult following. Like he could sell number 2 pencils and probably sell them.
Yeah.
So let's back up. Let's back up to childhood even. Farm boy from Virginia. What was childhood like? What was growing up on a farm like in the northern Virginia mountains of the Shenandoah Valley?
It was fun. It was challenging. I attribute a lot of my work ethic definitely to the farm because I was sort of like the head honcho at the farm, making sure that the animals were fed and we were marketing and selling the farm products. I had chickens and ducks and pigs and all kinds of random animals. And I basically took it upon myself too, because it was kind of like a hobby farm. It wasn't anything crazy, but I was like, listen, I want to make this like a business. I want to sell chicken. I want to sell eggs. So I became like the main guy to do that. And there were days where I'd work 12-hour days just on the farm as like a 12-year-old kid. So that was just normal to me.
Yeah.
So it was fun though. I liked, I enjoyed being out in the mountains. Definitely took a 180 going down to Fort Lauderdale in the city, but ultimately it's you can't, it's the classic thing. You can take the boy out of the farm or whatever, but you can't take that farm kid out of the whatever. I totally just butchered that, but you get the point.
So I think the farm out of the boy, not the boy out of the farm.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
the opposite.
The opposite.
The boy out of the farm.
See, it's hard, but
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean. So like, I think I'll definitely go back there at some point. But yeah, it was challenging, but I
Or
enjoyed it.
siblings like, parents like?
So do you want to guess how many siblings I have?
11.
How did you guess that? You're right.
Yeah, so I did my research.
Yeah. Good man. So yeah, I got 11 siblings. It was fun. Definitely like chaotic. Everyone running around, tackling each other.
Yeah.
It was a good time. There was never a dull moment. My parents, so my dad, he owns a law firm. You know, he obviously has to make the bank to pay for all those kids, but he always instilled a lot of like going back to like success DNA. I feel like to a certain extent, it's, you know, it's a born thing, but he definitely cultivated a lot of those initial traits like work ethic and like never giving up, never quitting. So he was always on board. Like he was actually the one that sort of pushed me into selling these farm products and like pushed me into like starting a business. And I think, I'm sure he like knew this hindsight, but like even just like having me run the farm myself sort of like put a lot of responsibility on my shoulders in a good way, where it's like that has definitely carried into my business today.
I've said it on the podcast before. I hate like even when, especially when I was growing up, you know, so I'm 33 now. So 15 years ago when I was, or, you know, 15, 17 years ago when I was coming up through high school, I think all my friends' parents, you know, if they weren't doing sports or something, they had to get a job, you know, just, you know, like you said, you know, teach responsibility to do something. I think that's so dumb. I think like it's so, you know, for minimum wage, right? Like it's so easy to go start a little hobby business. You know, whether it's a trash can business, like we have 700 plus short-term rentals. We pay a company called Can Monkey $50 a month per property to go get the trash cans and take them to the road and take them back, so that the guests, because the guests aren't going to do it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
You could tell half the guests to do it. Half of them would. Half of them would say, "Screw you." There's so many side businesses like that, or pressure washing, or landscape, or I pay a service to pick up dog poop.
Yeah.
Right. So like, you know, versus go work at the local grocery store or the local mall and make your minimum wage, you know, you could even teach your kids, like loan them the money to go buy a pressure washer and teach them interest and teach them principle.
Yeah, exactly. It
And
teaches, gets you creative. It's like, okay, how do I market this?
Not only do you like have the responsibility, but you also learn. I mean, you're going to have, you know, a college degree by the time you're done, essentially, on entrepreneurship and business. I've constantly thought about that. We got ways to go. My oldest is 6, you know, but, you know, as he gets to 13, 14, 15, depending on what's going on in his life, you know, in his free time, you know, try to breed some entrepreneurs. From childhood, well, you know, let's go to next high school. What was high school like? You mentioned at 12, you had the business. I got 15 chickens.
You do?
Yep. In a neighborhood little house. It's not a farm. I don't have.
Hey, that's a start.
I don't have 15 chickens. My wife has 15 chickens. But we're moving to 3.5 acres.
Yeah.
And no, it's 4.5. So now she's talking about donkeys and all kind. I'm like, no,
That's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the ass. No pun intended.
You had chickens. What else you have?
At the time, I had ducks. I was sort of like a poultry farmer. I had turkeys.
Nice.
Which I don't know why I got into poultry. They're literally the hardest animals to bring up.
How many chickens do you have?
I mean, average was like 300 at a time.
That's no.
No,
that's
it's an operation.
That's not a hobby farm.
No, well, yeah. Well, you compare it to like the big dogs, right? They got millions of chickens.
Okay, we're talking about Tyson. Like, come on.
Yeah. Compared to Tyson, I'm a small fish. But yes, compared to like the average dozen chickens.
You kept that going into high school. What was high school like?
Yeah, kept it going into high school.
Were y'all homeschooled or did y'all go to high school?
So we were homeschooled up until 8th grade. And then we went into this like little private school. It was like an hour away though. It was very inconvenient. Damn. So like I would literally wake up.
Hour there, hour back?
Yeah.
Whew.
So I had 8 hours at school or however long it was. I had an hour drive there, hour drive back, do my farm tours in the morning, do my farm tours at night. And then we can get into this down the line. But like I got into like high ticket sales and like online marketing and stuff like that. So I was always just a hustler.
Yeah.
But high school, I was never like a academic student, like C student. Even when I tried, like I would literally, there was one year where I was like, you know what, I'm going to dedicate to like actually getting this shit done and like learning B's, B minus, C's. I'm like,
A's work for the C's, man.
there you go. That's what I learned. Then I was like, you know what, there's probably a sign, because I was like, I never wanted to focus and, even like going into like junior and senior year when everyone was like looking at colleges and like doing the essays, like I didn't want anything to do with that. I was like, I'm not going to college, not going to do any of the studying. So high school, I mean, I did do the farm the first few years, and then it sort of dwindled down when I got into more like the digital marketing side. But yeah, most of my students, especially getting into like branding, when I was like posting content, like putting myself out there, I mean, most of them were like, you're crazy. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is not a job. You know, go get a job, blah, blah, blah. So very little support in high school.
And then when did you start? When was that transition from kind of the farm life to branding, high ticket sales? What came first?
So it was high ticket sales, but it's a very weird story. So Virginia, right? I'm doing the it's also like sustainable farming. So like I was raising these things on like grass and like moving them around, free range, pasture raised. So this guy, Joel Salatin, he's like the pioneer of sustainable farming. He's very famous. Like he'll hop on like massive podcasts. He was on Joe Rogan like 3 times. So I was watching a podcast from Joel Salatin, this farmer guy, just learning the farm skills. And he mentioned Ty Lopez. So at the time, Ty Lopez was like the king of SMA, personal branding. Yeah. So like what's funny, which I didn't even realize this connection, which is crazy, but Ty Lopez, or Joel Salatin was Ty Lopez's first mentor. So Ty went to his farm back when he was like 19 years old, learned all this stuff from Joel Salatin. So like this interviewer was asking Joel Salatin, like, what was it like driving in Ty Lopez's Lamborghini? And I'm like, who the heck is Ty Lopez? Yeah. So I looked this guy up when I was like 14. You got the Beverly Hills mansion and the cars and the Lamborghinis.
Did he get in trouble recently?
He did. Yeah. Like he's got a lot of sketchy stuff going on these days, but back in the day, like his stuff was pretty solid. You know, I mean, like the social media marketing agency type of stuff, like he definitely like blazed the trail, you know, to that stuff starting up. So I just looked this guy up, and the biggest thing he was saying was like read books, like read. So around that time, I started just like buying all these books, Napoleon Hill, Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki, and I was just like reading all this stuff. And then I started posting what I was learning on my new personal brand, which is now at Real Joe McCarthy. That's like my main page. So that's like the segue from like farming to like posting entrepreneur mindset based content, building the personal page.
Well, how old were you then?
About like 15.
Okay. So 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago. And then from when did you get your first high ticket closing gig? Are you setting or closing?
I mean, it's funny you asked that because technically both. I was closing for a company. So I think it was maybe a year or two in, maybe like a year in of me building my personal brand. Had a few thousand followers, decent content, and like I had a somewhat of a presence. So this random guy hits me up out of the blue. He's like, hey, do you have like an offer, like a product? And I'm like, no, I'm just kind of posting, don't really have a strategy. He's like, well, I got like a really solid service. We have thousands of case studies and testimonials. Would love to give you a walkthrough on how it works.
What was the offer?
So that was grow this agency. So this is basically like literally almost everything you can think of. Like it's the Amazon of digital marketing, right? So they can get you featured in press articles. They can grow your brand. They can help you reach more people. Like I've put thousands of pages on that service and just help blow up their brand, just get them out to more people, get them featured in articles. Like even Austin Medlin, you know, talking about him, like I helped him go from like 8,000 followers to like 50K, which is where he's at right now. I've helped thousands of other clients do that as well.
7,500.
Yeah, literally. There you go. You did your research. So, I mean, like that was the main gig that I got into. And my partner, Dre, he was like, sell this stuff. Because at the time I was selling like little Canva highlight covers or whatever for like $20. Yeah. He's like, bro, you got to get into high ticket. Yeah. Like you got to sell 200 of these things to make a couple thousand. Like you need to get into high ticket sales where you can sell like one package at $4,000 a pop and you make like 1 to 2K, right? And so he got me into that, taught me the ropes. Very grateful to him because he definitely helped me build like the foundational sales skills that I know today. And then I just started selling on that offer, and I was also in high school. So mind you, I have the farm, I got high school, I have to drive an hour there, drive an hour back. So like I would take sales calls after high school, but I was exhausted because by then it was like 9 p.m.
Well, you got to throw in the making sales in the bathroom stall.
That's where I'm getting to. So like I would literally sell like at 8 or 9 p.m. I'm like, listen, this is just like not sustainable. I need to like get smart with my time. And So we had like a 1.5 hour lunch break. We had like an hour recess. We had these study halls where like you're supposed to like sit down and, get caught up on your homework. So any chance I had, go to the bathroom stalls, whether it's like DMing, talking on calls, I'd be closing deals.
Yeah.
And so I was just like hustling.
And what's the difference between Jim and the Grow With Us agency?
So Gem Social, that came in a little bit later down the line, because what I started realizing is with Grow With Us agency, it's a great company and it can help you get out to more people, build the brand, really like help you get your influence up. But it didn't really help with a lot of the foundational pieces of like, how do we market this? Who's our target audience? Like a lot of like the things that most people don't really think about. So with Gem Social, a lot of my clients, even at Grow With Us, they were like, listen, I have 30,000 followers and, I decent content editing, but it's like, and it's reaching people, but I feel like I'm not getting as many clients as I should. And a lot of it had to do with like the messaging, the customer language, who they're speaking to. They didn't really dial in even like their story and how like refine that, put it into the content. So that's when I started my company, Gem Social, LLC, and that's essentially more of a consultation offer. So you have like Grow That, which is more like scale, blow up, get out to more people. Gem Social is more like strategy, consultation.
One-on-one type stuff?
One-on-one, yeah, cool. Exactly.
And then when did you start that?
The business has been open for like 4 years, but really I haven't taken it seriously. I'd say it's been about like 2.5 to 3 years.
And then how did Gym come to life just at those conversations you talked about?
Yeah, pretty much. People were in my DMs. They were like, yo, do you have like a service? Like, I see you crushing it. You're growing, but you're also making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like I got the growth part down, but I'm not making money. Like, can you help me with that?
I feel like that's how most offers are created. Even ours, our biggest one, BNB Turnkey, Michael was sharing his success online, and people were, can I just give you $500,000 and you do this for me? And we're like, no. It's like, all right, hey, 18 people have asked. We got to create this offer. And then now we do like 30 people a month.
Those are also always the best offers because you have like proof of concept.
Yeah.
People actually want it.
You're not like trying to figure out what they want. Like, they want it.
Yeah.
Early on, a lot of entrepreneurs and, people that want to create businesses listen to this podcast. Like early on, with Jim, what were some of like the main mistakes you made? If not early on, at any point in time.
Yeah, I've always been one to take calculated risks. So I don't have a ton of mistakes. And even if I did have mistakes, I think about them as lessons. It's like, okay, this ad copy didn't work. Let's switch it and iterate to this thing. So I don't really even dwell or think about like what massive mistakes I made. I think even just like going back to like being a father, like if I was single, I'd probably like take all the money in my bank and just like invest it, test out a ton of different shit. But because I have like a daughter and a wife, and I'm like, I probably should be more calculated with where I think it's even scientifically proven that like when you become a father, you're like more risk averse.
How'd you meet your wife?
I met her in high school. So
cool.
Actually I met her high school sweetheart. I think I was in 9th or 10th grade. We sort of got to know each other, and then she graduated. She's a year older than I am. So she graduated, then I graduated. A year later, got married. Year and a half later, got...
Moving quick, man.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I feel like I've lived a whole life already.
Yeah, I know. We have some of our best friends. They were like that. They from Alaska. They were down here from the Coast Guard, and very similar. Married kind of right out of high school, had kids pretty quickly, and now they're 28, but they have 3 kids, like 6 or whatever the ages are. And then what's been the hardest part about being a father and being a husband while also trying to run a business?
I mean, I think for me, it's like I'm like so obsessed with the business that it's like it's hard for me to stop.
Yeah.
Like I think I even saw this.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, exactly right. It's like, but it's like there's this analogy where it's like motivation is you have to like you want to do the thing. Discipline is you're making yourself do the thing. Obsession, you can't not do the thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm like at that obsession level where it's like. It's harder for me just to like sit down and like go on a vacation, hang out. Yeah. So I'm having to like be a lot more intentional with like blocking out the time. So I like live by my schedule, even if it's just like a random Sunday. I'll mark out like when I wake up to when I go to bed. This is the time for my daughter. This is the time where like me and my wife are going out on a date on Friday. This is the time that I'm gonna maybe respond to emails or DMs or whatever it is. But I try to block it out. But yeah, the hardest thing is I guess maybe the guilt of like it's like when you're in work,
Yeah.
you're like, shoot, I should be like with my family, hanging out with them. Like they're obviously what matters.
Yeah.
But then you're like with them, and it's hard to like not be in work brain mode. You're like, you know, you gotta do this thing, you gotta get that done. And it's always cliche, like, oh, how do you find the balance? It's like there really is no balance.
I think it's seasonal. I think it gets better like as the business matures. Like, I mean, early on, I mean, I left a super high paying job to just start this company from scratch. So it was like, I mean, I had a 2-year-old and newborn. So there was usually either put food on the table or don't, one of the two, right? So of course I'm gonna put food on the table. And then I think as the business has now matured, it's been easier because now most of my meetings at this point are internal high level meetings that like I can either cancel or skip.
Yeah.
And so if it's like, you know, a certain day and then, you know, my 6-year-old or my 4-year-old are like, Dad, can you just stay home and play today? It's like, yes, of course buddy,
yeah.
right? And so, 'cause it's like, it's just matured a little bit and it's seasonal and, you know, I'm 10 years ahead. I mean, Kylie, I didn't start this until I was 30. And so you started at 15, like, and you're going to be light years ahead of me.
Yeah, I would definitely agree though. Like seasons, like I would definitely say right now I'm in the season of like grind, you know, build
You're
it
so
out.
young, yeah.
Podcast.
I mean, now's the time. I mean, I say it all the time, like, especially when people are, you're not single, but people that are single in 23, like, if you're not grinding, like, what the hell are you doing with your life? Like Austin, like, I mean, that dude's grinding because he should be, right? You know, he's got no excuse.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Me and you have an excuse, you know, and it's a good excuse too. It's not even just some lame excuse.
No, 100%.
Let's dig into some strategies from a branding perspective and a follower perspective. Like, what's some of the? I mean, you're over 300K now, and I know it's been a while. You know, 8 years on Instagram. What's some of the, like, you know, maybe the top 2 or 3 strategies to grow from essentially 0 to 300K plus?
I'd say the biggest thing, first of all, is just like really figuring out to a T, like, why do you want to build this brand? Who are you trying to build it for? Like, who's your target audience? What are their pain points? What do they struggle with? Like, what's that ideal outcome that they're trying to achieve? And how can you get them from point A to point B? A lot of people skip over the foundational work. They kind of just post for the sake of posting because everyone's saying, oh, yeah, post content. But there's just no path. They don't know why they're posting, who they're posting for, who they can help. So that's the first thing, just get crystal clear on that stuff. Second thing I would say is create a process around the business. You need to figure out how can you, well, even around the content, like how can you create a consistent amount of content throughout a long period of time so that way you don't have to figure out how to just fly by the seat of your pants posting. Like a lot of people, what they'll do is, you know, they'll get the clarity, they know what to post, but they don't have like a clear process. They don't know how to stay consistent, or they try to stay consistent for a week or a month or a couple months, and they drop off because they get burnt out. So the second thing is like create a process. For my clients, I show them just how to batch like 10, 15, 20 pieces of content in like 2 hours on a random Saturday. Have a backlog of 3 weeks. That way your kid could get you sick or you go on vacation or you're traveling, but you can still be radically consistent with content. I think that's a big thing too, just figuring out how do you create a system and a process around your life where you know you can be radically consistent with the content. Because that's the biggest thing that's led to my success is I haven't missed a week of posting in like 6 years.
Yeah.
So like I've always had content out. I've never taken breaks.
What's up, you guys? I wanted to introduce to you our done-for-you Airbnb investing service called BNB Turnkey that has massive tax implications. It's basically an investing service that allows you to invest in cash flowing Airbnbs and not do any of the work. It's best explained in 3 phases. Number 1, we find, analyze, and underwrite the property. In phase 2, we handle all the interior design and construction. And then phase 3, we manage the property on the back end. The best part is most of our clients qualify for the short terminal loophole of the IRS tax code. This allows for average clients to write off over $200,000 in depreciation on their tax bill. For more information, click the link in the description to connect with our team. As always, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the episode. What do you try to do? Do you try to do it a certain amount a day, or
usually just like the first? I'm very easy. Like, I'm very simplistic. Like I'll basically just take like one day out of the month. Usually the first day of the month. Block out 3 hours. Usually what I'll do first is do the ideation. So I'll like maybe go to other pages, on social media that are doing something similar in my niche, just see like what topics are trending, like what people want in my space. Then I'll take that, pop it into ChatGPT, take a lot of the content or even just ideas from even like my sales calls. Like you can take all those transcripts, pop them into AI and be like, hey, based on this information, write me 10 scripts for reels. And because that's stuff that like it's really speaking to the heart of my audience. It's like I'll get on 30 sales calls a month or 50 sales calls a month, and like
what are you using for those transcripts?
What even is this? Whichever one is like directly connected with Zoom.
Whatever Zoom's AI tool is.
Yeah, there's so many out there.
I know.
It's like a notebook taker type of thing.
It's a good idea. I haven't thought about that. It's just such an easy idea.
Yeah, I mean, like even like Austin was telling me, like he does that with sales calls. Like he'll take like a lot of the transcripts and say like, hey, what are the most common objections? What are the most common fears and like core desires? So like I'll just take that and I'll pop it into, ChatGPT and be like, hey, based on like these 7 transcripts or 10 transcripts, what are the fears of my audience? Or like what do they need help with the most? Because like I'll ask them in discovery like, what are you struggling with? What are your pain points? Like, what are you trying to achieve?
Yeah, that's crazy. And I interrupted you, but you were talking.
Yeah, I mean, so those are like the key things. It's just like get clear on that, build a strategy, and then for my process, I literally just like sit down 3 hours on like a random Saturday, film all those pieces of content. At this point, I have an editor. Like I should have done that a long time ago. Just delegate that stuff. So I just send like 15 raw clips to my editor. They chop it up, get it back to me in 48 hours. And I only post those ones 3 times a week. So I'll do like 3 reels a week. And those are like the more higher quality ones if you go to my page. So that gives me like almost a month's worth of content right there. That way, baseline, I know I'm at least getting out 3 pieces of content every other day. And then if I want to do like, I call it like filler content, where like you sprinkle on top maybe like a random B-roll clip or like if I get pictures from this podcast, another podcast, I'll probably do like a photo dump in there. Like, hey, just went on a podcast we're on. Maybe have like some random spurt of inspiration. Your son does something crazy and you're like, hey, I just want to create this quick video. It's like you in your car. And it's just like an off the cuff type of thing. That's just like cherry on the top. So that's how I go about my process.
And then what's the thought process behind the podcast tour?
I mean, the podcast tour is just, number one.
Did you hire a podcast agency?
Yeah. So I don't know if you know Brendan Boyd. But he connected me with Vega and then also Jet at the, DSF podcast studio. It's 30 minutes away. And then he has a huge amount of connections and plugs down in Miami and Fort Lauderdale because that's where he's at.
Yeah.
So the idea behind that is twofold. Number one, content. It's just like, it's such an easy avenue to like get long form content, take the long form, chop it up, post it out on my socials. Credibility. It's like, obviously if this guy's getting on 40 podcasts, he must have something good to say.
Biggest podcast in America.
Yeah, exactly. But you're better than Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, he's second. I mean,
so it's like, if I'm getting on these podcasts, that's obviously like fueling my credibility. And there's like that stat where it's like, I don't know if it's true or not, but like people need about 7 hours of like screen time, like looking at your stuff before they make a buying decision.
oh, cool.
So I'm just thinking about it logically. It's like, okay, I can post on YouTube, do like long form content, but it's gonna be hard to do YouTube and also like short form 1 minute clips to hit that 7 hours. So I'm just gonna do like a ton of 1 hour interviews.
And then the interviewer is reposting it and you're getting in front of their audience.
So that would be step 2, which is like now you're tapping into other people's audiences. Right, so then it's obviously benefiting you because you tap into my audience. I'm gonna tap into your audience.
That makes sense.
It's just a win-win.
What do you think is like? I like this question. One of the biggest myths about social media and branding are
People assume that you have to grow completely organically, or else you cheated. So even me, I have always been a big proponent in investing into myself. I've probably spent $150,000 into courses, coaches, mentors, and I think that's gotten me to where I am at a young age. I just fast-tracked, like, you want to collapse time, figure out a way to just learn in a much easier fashion. But with branding, I realized, like, okay, I could try to grow organically and not put any effort into spending on ads or boosts or even like these shout-outs. Like, I'll do like these shout-out pages where I'll tapping into other people's audiences. Millionaire Mentor has like 10 million followers. Why wouldn't I pay him $400 to get featured on his page so millions of other entrepreneurs and coaches see my stuff and follow me? So I think people assume, and they'll even brag. They'll be like, I haven't spent a penny on ads. It's like, this is all organic. Like, okay, cool, but there's this tool called advertising or like marketing that you can spend and like really put fuel on the fire.
Yeah.
So I've always been a big proponent of like invest into yourself. You look at Alex Ramosi or any of these big dogs, you know, even you, like you're investing into hiring out help, hiring out people to help build out the studio and build out the podcast. Like Alex Ramosi spends $50,000 a month on content. So if you think
Just
that
on
you're
his
gonna
team or what?
yeah, just like this ideation, filming, editing, like literally the entire spiel. Like he has, and that's just for content.
I was listening to what's the guy's name? He owns Closers.io.
Yeah, Cole Gordon.
Yeah, Cole talking about
He was actually one of my clients.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
And he paid Hermosi
$220
yeah,
something
just
thousand
talk to him,
dollars.
whatever. And he was like, Hermosi spends like 25 hours a week on his content.
I saw that.
And then I'm like, well, shit, I'm spending like 15 minutes.
And this guy's already worth like 100 million plus.
Yeah.
And you see him, he's
yeah. And that's what Cole said. That's when he had the click in his head to like, all right, if I want to do something, then I have to step up my game.
Yeah.
And I just heard that video like 2 days ago. So
No,
like,
I watched that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was interviewing with Ravi, and he's also a cool buddy. But yeah, dude, I mean, like Alex, he's a dog, and he's just like one example of many where he's spending millions.
Yeah, no kids though.
I know. Did you see the Tony Robbins interview with him?
And I saw a clip.
He was basically just saying how like sad and depressed his life is, and like he's made all these millions, and I'm like, bro. Tony even kind of said, he's like, bro, you need kids.
Yeah, yeah, that's the secret sauce.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that's just my excuse. I have the time. We can all find the time.
Yeah.
Right. It's just a good excuse. One thing I was thinking about, how do you handle like, you know, at a young age, you know, you were doing content, and I think it's, you know, you and I would both agree, like, you know, the quicker you can do it, the better. How do you answer the question when people come to you like, I'm scared of what my friends might think, I'm scared of what people will think about it? Like, how do you get someone over the line to just post? I
mean, I struggle with that too.
Yeah.
Especially early on, like, it took me 2 years to put myself in front of camera. So like, I struggled with that.
Yeah.
One exercise I did, which was really helpful, is it's called the bullseye exercise. So it's figuring out, because a lot of times we're like, I'm scared of what they think, I'm scared of what they're gonna say. We don't really figure out who is they, right? Because a lot of times it's not this massive, like, worldwide U.S.-based audience. It's more like, I'm scared of what my mom's gonna think. I'm scared of what my cousin's gonna think. I'm scared of what this kid at school is gonna think. So when I was young, when I was younger, I did this exercise called the bullseye exercise, where you just want to like pinpoint, like, who are those like 2 to 3 people where like you're about to post, like who are those 3 people that revolve in your brain, like what are they gonna think?
Yeah.
And then figure out like, why do you care about their opinions? So like, let's say it's your dad or your mom. It's like, well, your dad, maybe you want to like live up to his expectation. You want to make sure like the values are in alignment with what he taught you. Or maybe it's like a cousin who's super judgmental and has like no concept of like what you do. Like, why are you like, really think about it. If you ask yourself why like 5, 6, 7 times, like eventually you're going to get to the point where you get to the root of it and you're like, okay, wait, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah. And I think too, just like trying to explain, because I'm just so new into this, and I never had a problem with like being in front of the camera or posting something. I don't care. Like, I'm not here. I gotta impress my wife, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so like I never had a huge problem with it. But you know, I keep thinking about my nephew who's, you know, 15, 16 in high school. Like, you almost have to teach them like, hey, the only way you're gonna learn is by practicing.
Just doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people too. It's like, listen, you can brainstorm and think all you want, but until you just actually do it, you're not gonna get the reps in to be good. And even Mr. Beast said that, like, you know, his first 100 videos or something like that were horrible. So you might as well get those out of the way.
Kind of related. I saw a video of Grant Cardone. It was like, you know, if someone was thinking about, oh, they might not unfollow me or something, and then Grant was like, someone came up to Grant, one of his friends or something, and he was like, Grant, it's just you post too much. I'm just going to unfollow you. And Grant was like, good, because you ain't buying nothing anyways. You ain't buying nothing anyways.
Yeah.
And that's funny. At this point, like, how are you deciding what content to post? Like, what works for you?
That's a good question. It's always testing and iterating. I think as like the marketplace is evolving, like I'm realizing that it's actually harder to sell digital and online products, because with the use of ChatGPT and all these new softwares and stuff, people are way more analytical. So like back in 2020, I could sell $5,000 program like hotcakes, like no problem.
Yeah.
But now it's like people, they have like buyer's fatigue. They've like tried things and didn't work, and they're more sophisticated. They can go to ChatGPT. So it's really just pre-handling a lot of those speculations or like things that might come up on a call. Like all my content is designed almost as like a funnel to drive people from, a cold lead to like a warm lead to get to my DMs and then to book a call. So I'm naturally trying to like pre-handle objections.
Are you running ads too, or are you just...
A little bit. I'm still very big into just organic marketing.
Yeah.
It's worked out really well for me. I'll invest into a lot of those shout outs. Those have actually produced like a 6x return. So it's like I pretty much know if I spend $5K a month on those, I can bring in a decent chunk just from that. And then there's organic. So I've never really, if I'm being honest, like I haven't even really cracked ads, like especially for my offer. It might be a limiting belief, but I just think it's so hard to figure out like what ads will actually perform. So I've like never been able to.
We actually just brought on like, I think everybody, you go from agency to agency trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then we finally figured it out. A guy named Rick out of LA, One Click Rick. And that's his little slogan. And we actually worked out a deal with him where essentially we acquired half the company. And so now like we're 50-50 partners in the scale space is the name of the company, just because I think what happens with most agencies, there's a lot of them out there that are amazing,
100%.
right? But then, they scale and they grow, where if you were the agency CEO, you're the one that's good, right? And then you try and hire a team and no one's going to be as good as you are.
I know.
And then the quality just goes down. And so to protect our quality, we're like, all right, if we can acquire half the company, at least half, we can be in more. He's still a CEO, he still runs it, but at least we can have some more QC behind it.
Yeah.
And control the quality a little better and the growth a little better. And it's been great. I mean, we're trying to spend as much as we humanly possibly can, because I think last month was a 7.3x ROAS or something.
Crazy.
So it's like,
you guys spend everything. Then
it's like, well, how much money can we throw at this, while it lasts?
Yeah.
Do you run any meta ads at all, or just
a little bit? Yeah. Like I test things out here and there, but in terms of like spending, really like those shout outs have been a godsend for me, because it's like I'll grow my brand from those, but I'll get clients from it.
Yeah.
So like I might
Michael does a lot of those, my business partner, like the Millionaire Mindset Instagram page and all that.
It works. I mean, it's very underrated in my opinion.
Yeah. And then the collabs too.
Yeah.
Kind of same thing.
Yeah.
Any good lessons you've learned the past, whether it's with gym or whether it's with social, just on the business side? Like, what has it taken to run a successful business? Are you closing yourself?
Yeah, so that's something I'm actually in talks of, like just hiring out a closer, because like I'm booking 60 to 80 calls a month right now. So I'm taking
1 hour calls.
Yeah, like 45 minutes. I block out a full hour, so like I might take like 5 sales calls a day, which that's
60 to 80 hours of calls.
Yeah, and like you could even hear it in my voice. Like I'm like losing my voice because I was on like back to back calls, and then
What's your
this
close rate?
podcast. My close rate's like 50%. Thanks to Austin Medlin.
Yeah.
I hired him. Closesales.com. Shout out. He's boosted it up like crazy.
What was it before him?
I was like 10 to 15%.
So hey, that's the plug right here. Everybody go to Austin.
No, 100%. So like he helped me like crazy. I mean, I went to like his retreat and all that. Like he's been a huge help.
Well, let's dig into there. Like what from 15% to 50%? What's the sauce?
It's just the framework. It's like he obviously puts in like the RFPDP method. I think I was missing a lot of like the common discovery questions.
You were just pitch festing the whole time.
Kind of, or I would ask questions and they'd be good, but it's like I don't know if Austin like ran through the whole thing, but it's like you need to ask specific questions like partner, finance, timing, comparison, trust. There's I don't know, maybe 7 to 10. And it's like if you miss one of those, you're gonna be your objection. Like you miss timing, like do you have 3 hours to like focus on the stuff each week, or like you miss partner, it's like, oh, I got to speak to my wife or dog or whatever. It's like you're gonna get that objection.
Did you see Austin's video? It was like yesterday, I think, or maybe the day before, of the lady talking about like she had 4 businesses, but
I got my nail business, I got this business. How much revenue are you bringing in? I don't know. I haven't made any money yet.
like 4 businesses, no revenue. That's not a business.
Yeah.
What else? Just discovery. the biggest thing.
Discovery, yeah. I mean, even the way that I pitch my product has been it's been refined as well. Like, he helped me really segment how I convey my offer, where like I'll dive into pillars, which is like, this is the process, this is the how of how my stuff works. Like, I'll help you structure your offer, I'll help you optimize your social media, I'll help you run your lead generation, and then I'll help you create processes and systems. And then we dive into deliverables. That's obviously pretty straightforward. And then price. So beforehand, I would just like dump it all, in one little segment. Like, hey, this is the product, the time frame, how it works, process, pillars, blah, blah, blah. Whereas with Austin, he has like a specific framework to essentially break it out so it makes more sense. It just simplifies it. So, yeah.
What's one of the biggest mistakes you see as people, whether it's myself or people that are just getting started on brand building and social media? What's some of the biggest mistakes you see?
I need to go to your page real quick and do
a
live little
audit.
A little audit.
No pressure over.
Let's see here. All right, Elliott. I would say we probably just need a little bit more uniformity. That's where like the classic branding comes into play. Like, if you go to my page, it's very straightforward. You got the red branding. Like, you can tell like this is.
And I noticed that, and I noticed the font.
The fonts, yeah. So you want to figure out ways to differentiate yourself, right? Like, we don't want to be bucketed into like, hey, I'm a serial entrepreneur. And I'm like every other business guru online. Like, you want to set yourself apart. So the aesthetic, the front end is one thing I help my clients with, which is like the bio, the highlights, the content, pinned posts, all the links.
You're gonna invoice me for this right here?
No, this is free value. So like, for one, I think highlights, you guys should definitely tap into highlights, right? Like, if you go to my page, I got the program highlight, so I have a service. Lifestyle highlight, you got kids, show the t-ball and the practice and the football and all that stuff, so you can get like more connection with your audience. I would add maybe 2 or 3 other highlights. Do you use Threads?
Do we? Yeah.
Unless you're going to use it every single day, I just take that out because it's just a place to distract your audience. So I don't even really use it, because the goal, you want to figure out like, what is the goal? Do you want them to click your links? Mm-hmm. Do you want them to DM you? Okay, if we have a Threads link in here that drives them to Threads, which is a whole other app, you're just distracting your audience from the goal. And then we probably want to refine pinned posts. I haven't really dove into yours specifically.
Yeah.
But every little aspect of my page is methodical. Like, it has a whole flow and process to it to drive, again, my customers or potential customers through this journey so they can know, like, and trust me. So like, pinned post is a whole strategy. Like, if you can take that first pinned post, talk about your story, your upbringing, how you got into this, the business, and then talk about like who you help, how you help them. That's going to help nurture your audience, like just right there on that first post. Second pinned post, I like to do more value add. So like, I have like a carousel that you can scroll through, and it's probably like $20,000 worth of value. I just put it in this thing. It's like what Alex said about free value versus, like, if his free value is this good, I can't imagine what the paid stuff is like. So yeah, just little structural things is what a lot of business owners and coaches miss, is they are kind of all over the place and don't really have a flow to the whole brand, if that makes sense.
As we finish up, I'll ask kind of 2 sets of questions. One, kind of the future of social media and AI and everything, and then we'll end with some successful DNA questions. So like, same question, like, what trends are you most excited about on Instagram right now, like the future of social media? Anything?
I think that with the rise of AI, it's going to weed out a lot of the fakers or people that are kind of showing the flashy lifestyle and seem like they have success, but when like push comes to shove and like things actually start getting difficult, it'll weed them out, and then there'll be just people like me.
Why is that, do you think?
I think it's just going to get more and more competitive. Like, it's already super hard now versus 2020 to grow. That's why I had so much success, is I was doing this in COVID
when no one was doing it.
Yeah, it's like it was just a random thing to do and started blowing up. So I think that with AI, a lot of people are going to start to utilize that almost to a detriment. I'm actually seeing a lot of people do a 180. They want to like get away from AI, because if you even scroll through, like, people are having an aversion. They're like, oh, that's fake. That's AI. Like, that's not real. Mm-hmm. So I'm just almost doing the opposite. I'm trying to be more down to earth, natural, authentic. selfie videos, low editing, just like normal, almost like a vlog in a way, or like a FaceTime call type of thing.
The AI's getting crazy too with like people are like building having relationships with AI.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that. That's weird.
Bro, there was this it was like this girl we know, like she divorced her
Oh,
husband.
you know people who've...
Dude, she divorced her husband because chat told her to.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, it's telling, I mean, I don't know if this is true, but it's telling other people to kill people. I mean, it's insane.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
dude.
you gotta be careful. That's what I'm saying. Like people are gonna
silly.
use this stuff and like it's gonna control them and like...
Yeah, dude, it's weird. All right, with the podcast being on Successful DNA, I try to end with this question every time, just like whether it's yourself or some of these amazing entrepreneurs you've been around or your dad or whoever it may be, a combination of all the above. Like, what are 2 or 3 things that is like inside the DNA of successful people that you think are just like have to be there? Anybody ever told you like Shia LaBeouf?
I've gotten that like 9 times.
Okay, let's make sure.
To answer your question, the first thing is the work ethic. I think that's
From your
just
dad?
something. Yeah, or even just, I mean, even in general. I mean,
Yeah.
I can tell like you obviously wouldn't have built the businesses if you didn't have a solid work ethic. Anyone I meet, they don't struggle with work. It's like you don't have to force them to get their butt out of bed and like get to work on their business and grind it out. And that's one thing that's helped me is like, doesn't like I got a sore throat, I'm losing my voice, but I'm still showing up like day after day after day. Like I do what it takes to, you know, show up and do the work that's required to build a business. And I don't even think about like not doing it. Like I'm not like, oh shoot, like I feel like this, let me just stop all this stuff. So that's the first thing, is like you need to just have like a indestructible work ethic. Second, which this is something I got from Austin Medlin, just obnoxious confidence. Like he just has obnoxious confidence, which I love.
In a good way though.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
It's not like douchebaggy at all, but you know what I mean?
Even then, it's like you just need to have obnoxious confidence, like in your offer, in your message, in what you're trying to do.
Assume the
your
close.
business, assume the close.
Yeah.
Like you just need to have this confidence, like this aura of certainty around it. So I'd say that's the second thing. Third thing, I feel like self-belief is a big thing. Like I always knew, even before evidence or before I had success, that I was meant for more, meant for something different, even when I didn't have any evidence to prove that. So I feel like your self-belief and like what you're capable of is huge. Like you need to be able to really just like have the belief in yourself, because even if there are outside people that might believe in you, if you don't deep down really believe you can achieve this goal or build this business or hit this revenue goal, like you're probably not going to do it. Like it's the classic Napoleon Hill thing. Like if you can see it and believe it, like you can achieve it, right?
Do you believe in burnout?
Yeah. I would say I got burnt out last month.
Dude, it's so funny. I never believed in it, and I'm trying to work through it right now. Of just like, I don't know. I always just thought people were soft, and burnout was just more or less you found something else that you care about more than like what you were doing. But
I feel like with me, burnout is more of a physical thing. Like I would literally go just hours and hours and hours
mine's like
taking calls.
I'm mentally exhausted.
Well, that too,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's like when your body's like deteriorating and like you feel sick and stressed out, naturally your mind is gonna be all like
And like
foggy
a month and a half, we're doing a baby moon because Kylie is 24 weeks pregnant to the Bahamas just for
be
3
nice.
nights. And I was like, all right, I'm turning my phone off. I'm telling everybody if there's an emergency, call our COO Kyle, and so hopefully that fixes it. But
No, that should help a lot.
Yeah.
Even like when I take like a day off, I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, I should do this more than once a month.
yeah, for sure. And I haven't taken a day off in like, I mean, I think that's the thing too. You've been going since 2015. I haven't been going that long. I've been going since like, just going hard since like 2017. And so it's just time for a break. Just one day.
Well, I think we also feel guilty because we feel like, oh, this doesn't feel natural. We
Yeah, I
feel
mean,
like
I think the biggest thing for me is like there's 170 people counting on me, you know, and so, you know, I don't
scared of the what ifs. What if something breaks? What if
Yeah.
they need me here?
Yeah, but
Never really turn it off.
well, this is my cry to help to you. This is all it is. Cool. Well, thanks for coming, bro. Where can people find more about you?
social media, Instagram at Real Joe McCarthy. If you want to check out the content, if you want to book a call, I'm personally still taking calls. Might get a closer soon, but as of now, go to my website, gemsocial.com. Book a strategy call. We can dive into what you need help with and see where you can level up, and I can give you some guidance. But yeah.
Cool. Thanks, bro.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.